Welcome in to Weather Wednesday here at New England Storm Center. So, there's really no impactful weather in the near term or long term forecast for New England. There is really just some temperature swings going on after a chilly start to this week, where we finally had our first widespread frost and some freezes on Monday night. The temperature will be rising once again, and it will be rising pretty significantly for the remainder of the week. But just going back real quick to the widespread frost and freezes, some areas were approaching their latest freeze ever, including Concord, New Hampshire, which, if they did not drop below freezing on Monday night, then the record for latest freeze for that city would very likely, have been completely shattered, as the record was October 25th. Of course, Monday night to Tuesday morning, that was October 24th. So they did not get their record latest freeze, but if it did stay to 33 plus, they would have gone a while longer, because after Monday night to Tuesday morning, there is nothing cool in the forecast, at least for the next week. So the temperatures will be rising. They will be rising well into the 70s for southern and central New England. There will be a cold front that will stall just north of New England in southern Canada. That cold front will cycle in a lot more clouds and perhaps some showers into northern New England. That will likely limit how warm it can get in the northern third of New England. But southern and central New England, there will not be much holding you guys back from really shooting up for this time of year. Of course, with this setup, which is a strong ridge of high pressure that is going to plant itself just to the south of New England, that will help transport mild air from the south up the eastern seaboard into New England. With this setup, there's, like I said, not much to hold the temperatures back, which is why they are shooting up as high as they are, 10 to 15 degrees above average, potentially flirting with some daily record highs for some cities of southern New England. Really, the only thing holding the temperatures back is, of course, the time of year. The sun angle now in late October is ever weakening, and the sun angle is starting to become more of a hindrance toward warm ups than helping warm ups. But if this was July, like the middle of summer, we would be talking a pretty significant heat wave here for southern New England. But for late October standards, it's going to lead to temperatures into the upper 70s. There is a chance, there's a small chance, it is unlikely at this time that anywhere in New England will hit the 80-degree mark. It's not completely out of the question. I put this in an article yesterday that I emphasized that it's very unlikely, but when you're in late October and it's getting this warm, and right now there's, forecasts putting cities in southern New England 77, 78, even 79 degrees, it at least has to be mentioned that 80 degrees, it could potentially happen. Again, it's not favored to happen. We'll have to watch the trends for the rest of the week. But if it were to happen, it would happen in the typical warmer spots of southern New England, which would be in the Connecticut River Valley and the Merrimack River Valley. Hartford could be a potential candidate to hit 80 on Saturday, as well as some areas of the North Shore of Massachusetts in the Merrimack River Valley. So on that note, Wednesday is going to be it's going to be the transition day. It's going to be warmer than Tuesday, but not quite to the level that we'll see at the end of the week. Thursday and Friday will basically be the same, and then the heat is currently looking to peak. Again, I say heat by late October standards, is looking to peak on Saturday. Now, there were some questions about Saturday in regards to a cold front, which is going to drop through New England eventually, but it is looking increasingly likely that this cold front will be delayed into New England, which will allow Saturday to warm up. And Saturday is currently looking like it will be the warmest day of this warm spell. Again, that's when temperatures will shoot safely into the 70s for much of southern and central New England. Again, northern New England, there's not as much certainty on just how warm northern New England again can how warm northern New England can get. Again, with the increased clouds and that stalled frontal boundary that they are closer to, that could hold them back temperature wise. But again, southern New England is looking increasingly likely to be seeing temperatures well above average during this time. It does look like the temperatures are going to drop back down to about average on Sunday as the cold front moves through, either late in the weekend or early next week, Sunday to Monday. And then by about Halloween and into the first week of November, it's looking like the temperature roller coaster will continue with us coming down not only to average, but we continue to see signals of temperatures dropping below average to start off November with some real fall chill. So that's what's going on. I did write in my October weather outlook for New England that this month I predicted was going to be very up and down temperature wise, that we are going to be on a fall roller coaster. And that is certainly playing out right now with a chilly start to the week. We're warming back up, and it looks like we're going to drop right back down for the very end of the month and into November. So if you are one of those, if you're one of New England's cold weather lovers, don't fret because the cool is coming, of course. It's going into November. Your time is just starting. But yeah, we are looking at probably below average temperatures into the first week of November as there's widespread cold, and the first expansive snowstorm of the season for the United States is currently hitting the plains out west. That cold air is going to march eastward toward us for the beginning of November. It is an Arctic outbreak out there. Of course, as the temperature moves eastward, the temperatures will moderate, so it won't be as cold here as it is out there dealing with the big snowstorm. But cooler weather is certainly on the way. It certainly looks like it for the start of November. And of course, if you're one of New England's warm weather lovers, soak in the next few days. So that's going to do it for this edition of Weather Wednesday. A bit of a shorter episode, but that is what's going on with New England's weather this week. So as always, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and you will hear from me again next Wednesday.